Hi, everybody. I'm Doonya with Doonyaya, and this is my son Lars. He's my awesome, amazing assistant. And today, this is my studio. We're in the Hudson Valley, and this is my new line that just got launched. Ta-da! And we have a cat. Lars wants me to show you the cat, who is, I don't know where she is. But we are going to actually do a little tutorial today. It's something that Lars and I have done before, because when COVID hit and he was out of school, we decided to pivot really quickly and start doing some home crafting projects so that he could learn something, he could do something creative, and then we started filming them and posting them on Instagram Live. Oh, there's Audie. And so if you miss something today, this is Audie, and she is in the studio sometimes because I have a chipmunk, which sometimes happens maybe to other vendors who are working in studios in the country. So she is keeping the chipmunk at bay. So if you miss something from our little tutorial, then you can see it on the website, doonyaya.com, fun stuff. So what we're going to do today is stencil using freezer paper to make a t-shirt. And it's really fast and it's easy, and I feel like it's really related to screen printing because screen printing is a stencil. And this is just a very simple way to do it, to do a one-off of a design. So what we're going to do is you just have to get freezer paper just from the grocery store. And we are going to do a design that we already came up with. It just says Hudson, which is a small town up here, and it's just really easy. So I just drew that out. But you can do any design you want. Just keep it really simple because you have to cut lots of little lines out. So we're going to tape this. You can go ahead and tape it onto our cutting board. And then with an X-Acto knife, first we're going to actually put this freezer paper over it. Okay. I'm going to take that down. There you go. And you can just do a couple pieces. Perfect. One on the top. And then while Lars is doing some things, I can also talk to you about where I got inspired, why I screen print, things like that. Now we're going to tape our freezer paper shiny side down. There's a matte side and a shiny side. So we'll tape it down. And then we're basically cutting out our design, so along the lines. So Lars, with the X-Acto knife, is going to start cutting. And I can chat with you guys. So I started screen printing when I was in high school. I went to an art camp called Horizons in Massachusetts, and I learned how to screen print there. And I caught the bug, and I absolutely loved it. And I've been screen printing ever since, but I also ended up going to graduate school for art here in the Hudson Valley at Bard. And I learned a lot of art theory and art history, and I studied photography and a lot of other art forms, but it's always been screen printing that has been my favorite. But I always did it as a hobby because I didn't think it was a real art form. You watch your thumb. Okay, he knows. So once I had Lars, I started actually getting back to screen printing via this technique. I started making him some t-shirts with freezer paper, and it got me excited about doing screen printing again. And so it has led to my current business of doing t-shirts, Doonyaya. So as he's cutting that out, I think it's going to take a little too long. So we're doing an awesome job though. So what we might do is use that one afterwards. So we have two. So I actually had also already pre-cut one. So I think we could use this one, Lars, if you want, and then we can finish that one. Okay. So just because we want to keep moving on and we don't want to leave people hanging. All right. So the next thing we do is we take our freezer paper. All right. That's looking good, though. No, it's good. It's all right. So do you remember what we do next? We're going to iron it. So now we're going to iron the freezer paper onto the shirt. Let's get our little ironing board. We can leave that down there. And this gets like sticky when it gets hot. So I'll let you lay that out, and then you place it where you want it on the shirt, and I'll heat up the iron. Excellent. Is that where you want it? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start ironing it. And we also had to save the little pieces like the inside of the O and the inside of the D. So keep those off to the side. And it's going to take a little while because the iron is still getting hot. So just keep doing that. That's looking great. And then also you want to make sure that all the little edges and corners are ironed down. That's what's making your stencil. Looking good. So I ended up starting Doonyaya just, oh, it turned off. There we go. Just 2 years ago. I am inspired by the 70s and the 80s because that's when I grew up, and I'm a bit of a Luddite, so I really love technology that happened before 1980 or maybe 1985. I think like once we made a Polaroid camera, we should have stopped personally, and so that's the stuff that I draw. I'm also in a band. My boyfriend's been in a band. We love music. Lars plays drums, and so it's music. And then I think from growing up in New York State, I grew up further north in the foothills of the Adirondacks, and so I've been surrounded by animals and nature my whole life. And we see a ton of animals here where we are as well. That's looking really good. So it's starting to stick to the shirt. Maybe you can tell them some of the animals we see around here.
We see rabbits. Mm-hmm. We see dogs. We see foxes.
Bobcats. We have 2 bobcats that come around.
Mm-hmm. We see tons of deer.
Tons of deer, tons of chipmunk.
And mice.
Squirrels, mice.
Mice.
From the cat. Turtles. We have a pond. Oh, blue heron. Mm-hmm. All right. I think that's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more on the corners here than maybe this edge here. So I also, because I'm not very computer savvy, I also hand draw everything. And so I illustrate all my designs and watch a lot of Netflix. And then I use just a plain, that's potty, a plain Xerox machine. And luckily the one in town is still open at the UPS. I'm not allowed to help. Yeah. So also I get all my screens burned at the Women's Studio Workshop in Rosendale. And I can tell you a little bit about screen printing. It's a very simple technology, but the possibilities are so endless. That's why I love it. But it is a stencil, and you put light-sensitive emulsion on a screen in the dark, and as it dries, once it's dry, it's light-sensitive. So then you put your design, which is on a transparency, on it, and expose it to light, and anything that is dark that does not get exposed to the light becomes solid. So that's what is blue. and anything that the light hits washes out. So that is why it's a stencil. And I was trained in screen printing, like I said, in high school, and then I studied it during the summer at Corcoran School of Art in Washington, D.C., and any opportunity that I got. And then I lived in Portland, Maine for a while, and there was a screen printing studio. So I've always had access to the equipment, but the equipment for screen printing is not very complicated. Here, no, just this guy right here, that one. It's not very complicated, so I was thinking of doing tutorials on how to do a really simple screen printing studio at your own home if people are interested in that. So I'd love to hear from you guys. So I think we're all set for the next step. It's looking good. What do you think? Yeah? All right. So we'll turn off our iron, and we are ready to put the paint in. So you can use regular fabric paint. So this is just Jacquard, which is a fabric paint you can just get at any art store. There's also Speedball is a really popular one, but I like Jacquard better. Or we are going to use my screen printing inks because I have so much of it. So I picked the colors. I don't know if you are okay with these, because this is going to be your shirt. I was thinking, you're fine with those? Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? We never iron these guys in. Do you want to just have these open, or do you want these in? You want them in? Okay, let's iron those in, and then I can answer some more questions. So it's that guy, and then we need the D inside right here. Hudson. Exactly. So
it's a hug.
I also need to make the Hudson shirt, so this is a good preamble. Let's make sure I put that on the right side. I did. Okay, so there we go. All right, let's see if there's any questions out there. What was I doing before this? Well, I have always been doing art. I was raised by artists in the, like I said, in the Adirondacks. And so I was always doing art, but I went to school for literature, which maybe helped, I'm not sure. And I have always played piano. So, and then I basically just have had odd jobs, and just did my, it's an odd job right now. And I made my own job. I literally made my own job. That's exactly right. So I have always been I've always been making things, like from as long as I can remember. I was painting when I was 3 years old next to my mother in her studio. So I knew that I needed to do something creative with my life. And so I did. I made my own job. All right, how's it looking? Perfect. Okay, I think it's good. That'll be all right. Okay, so now I'll turn this off. You can grab one of your inks, and we're going to just paint it in with a paintbrush. And I am going to do this one so we can get it done faster. Awesome. So I was thinking we could do one of these. I was thinking of doing, well, don't smell it. It is water-based. So I was thinking of making the O orange and everything else maroon. What do you think? The O and the D orange? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can work on the N with that. Do you want to switch? You know what? We should switch because that one's really drippy and this one's not as drippy. You have to be more careful with that one. It's up to you. No? Okay. So I'm doing the D in orange. And it's good to kind of dab so that you don't get any ink underneath the stencil. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Hang on. We should put a piece of cardboard underneath just so that the ink doesn't go through. Let me slip this in here. It was just from a cardboard box. Wow, everything is so troublesome. So, lift up your brush for 1 sec. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay, looking good.
Are you done?
I am. I'm ready. Okay. So, wonder how everybody else is getting through. No school. I guess that part is done, but who knows about the fall? Oh, I have another question. Let's see what it is. I think I'll be past a bit here. All right. Oh, what kind of band am I in? So my boyfriend was in a band called the Star Spangled Bastards, which was like a garage rocky band in the Pacific Northwest where we lived at the time. We actually dated in our 20s and then got reunited via Facebook 20 years later. And so now he is not in a band. Uh-oh, we got a little bug. That was me from my finger. That'll be all right. And I am in a band, an all-female Tom Petty tribute band called the Tom Pretties. So we have been unable to play out, but I think we are going to start practicing together outside and then possibly play out at a couple of venues that are having music outside. So we went to a place called The Grand Crew up here in Milan last night, and there was music. It was great. And I'm thinking that might be the future of music in the foreseeable future, is just playing outside. And maybe it'll be sort of like things that I'm nostalgic about from the 80s of like going to a cornfield with a keg and playing AC/DC on a boombox and having a party. So I'm okay with that happening again. So let me see if there's any other questions. Oh yeah, maybe we will have a Zoom concert. Definitely. And we do have a website. We haven't been very active on it lately, obviously, but it's the Tom Pretties. So we'll definitely keep everybody updated. I also just want to do a shout out to Field and Supply because this has been such a great experience. I was really bummed that it wasn't happening this summer. And fingers crossed that we're going to be able to see each other in person again in the fall. But because it is in a couple, yeah, right. But it has been such a great experience doing Field and Supplies because I have made so many good connections and friends and gotten to know other vendors. And it's a real community and it's so well curated. I feel so lucky to be part of an event that has so much talent. So that has been really incredible. And then I'm so happy that we're doing this because I've been watching the other vendors live and it's so cool to see behind the scenes and get to know people better and be able to ask questions. It's amazing. So I'm really excited about this and I hope that we maybe can keep doing it so that we can get to know people who are our customers and other vendors better. So all the shirts behind me are screen printed. So that's what I normally do. And maybe while Lars is finishing up, I'll show you my studio real fast. But I also have to wipe my hand anyway. So these are the shirts from my new line. And then you're done? Awesome. So you can put the lid back on and I'll be right over. And what else can I show you? So these are my screens. This is one of my screen printing stations where I do the envelopes.
The main one is really there.
Right, this is my main one, the really messy one. Okay, and upstairs is where I fill orders. So there was a snafu with my shirts because I used to print on American Apparel, which then, I don't think, there's nothing really exciting upstairs. And we're ready for our next phase of this. So, hang on, come over here. Oh, you know what we need to do? So usually we have to wait for this to dry, but since we don't have time to wait for this to dry,
we're just gonna put it in our freezer.
No, I can't freeze it. I think what we could do is actually put it in my conveyor dryer.
What?
Yeah, except that might catch on fire. A little crazy, right? I know, right? Maybe.
Freeze it.
You know what we're gonna do? We are going to put it in the conveyor dryer once we get the paper off. So what we're gonna have to do is very carefully peel this off. So anyway, so American Apparel went belly up. And so I had to source new shirts. You want to help me peel real carefully? So I had to source new shirts, which actually turned out to be a blessing because the new shirts are better quality and they come in amazing, cool retro colors, which is so perfect for me because I am so nostalgic. So we have like maroon and mustard and navy, and it's much more in line with what my vision is, which is 70s, 80s music, technology from the 70s and the 80s, and anything that is funny, because I love comedy. And I feel like laughing through adversity is the best way to do it. How do we get that part off? Let's see. Yes. Oh, wait. No, you know what? Let's do it really carefully with our X-Acto knife to peel that. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Thank you for loving my color choices. How often do I add new designs? Okay. So it takes me a long time to add new designs.
Because you have to draw them.
I draw them. I Xerox. I use basically pen and whiteout and a Xerox machine. And it just takes a really long time for the design, for the inspiration, and a lot of iterations. I was hired by the city of Albany to come up with the Albany Beaver. And it took, they were so patient with me, but I think it took about a year to finish that design.
It took 6 months.
It took 6 months, something like that, yeah. So then my newest design, though, which is not out yet because it's double colored, but is Woodstock, which I am so excited about. The problem is I need a piece of equipment. I'm sure you guys have seen it at some point in your lives. It looks like a big spider, which has different screens on it that spin around. So it's for multiple colors. And I need to buy that piece of equipment. So I'm actually, just for other vendors out there, I'm selling my kiln because I used to do some pottery. I have a really great slab roller and a kiln that I am going to sell so I can get this other piece of equipment and come up with 2 color designs. So, the answer is that I'm going to come up with probably a new design, maybe 2 a year. Okay, so I sell my shirts. I'm starting to do more wholesale, so they will be in stores like brick and mortar once brick and mortar starts again. And then I also sell them on my own website and through Field and Supply and on Etsy. So, but you will start seeing them more because I'm going to be wholesaling more. So I'm going to put this through the conveyor dryer a bit. If you were at home doing this, you would wait for this ink to dry before you did that peeling.
Or put it in your freezer.
I don't think the freezer really works for that, but
it would.
Maybe. And then you could take another clean rag to put it over it and iron it. And just iron it for like 5 minutes to heat set it. And also throw it in the dryer before you wash it, because that will also heat set it. So we're going to put this through. Lars can do it through a couple of times. She has. Lars has been an amazing assistant through COVID. He's learning the family business. I don't know if he's going to want to be a screen printer. No. What do you want to be?
YouTuber.
He wants to be a YouTuber. Well, depending on your YouTube videos, that's could be very profitable.
It's gonna be Roblox and Fortnite.
Roblox and Fortnite, great, love it. So, and the conveyor dryer. This is one piece of equipment that is fairly necessary for screen printing on fabric, and it's really just heat on a conveyor. So we'll put that through like 3 different times, and then that's it. The shirt is done. So Lars, once it's done, you can wear it. You want to like sport it for everybody to see?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, oh, start my YouTube channel. I do have a YouTube channel. I guess it's just Doonyaya. Yeah, and then also on my website, I have more videos as well. And please let me know. I'm really easy to get in touch with. I think that there's contact information for me. I think that you can contact us through Field and Supply and also on my website. Because Lars and I are going to continue doing tutorials. I have a suspicion that we will be home quite a bit this fall as well. So we will continue doing them. So if anybody wants to learn some simple crafting or how to do screen printing at home, I would gladly do that. Yeah, so what else do we have? We have 4 minutes. Wish you do hoodies. Totally. Hoodies are on the docket, and also a women's line. That's part of the plan. Well, why don't you grab it, but also, I don't think there'll be time, but why don't you put this one on so we can see it?
It's not dry.
It's not dry? That's okay. I think it's close enough. Go ahead. Awesome. So yes, I will definitely be doing hoodies. I think hoodies are great. I do have sweatshirts and raglans or like those baseball tees for fall, but I think hoodies are awesome. I live in hoodies when it's not 90 degrees out. That's not true. I do. I have hoodies. Tabletop, napkins, tablecloths, absolutely. So I actually started doing that before the t-shirts. It was just...
it was actually just pillows.
It was pillows. I did some napkins and tea towels, and I would like to go back to that, definitely. But now I've gotten really into like the fashion part of it. All right, let's check it out.
You're supposed to dry it.
Yes, it's still wet, but you get the idea. Here, let's stand outside. Oh, and there's our kitty, Audie.
Oh, others.
Let's see. See it? Here, step back a bit. Ta-da! Yay! Awesome. New favorite shirt for the summer.
Finish it off with a picture of us.
That's right. So I think, yeah, you can put it back to the dryer now. Absolutely. All right. So it was really great to do this, and I hope you all had fun and finish it off. And I can't wait to meet some of you in real life sometime. But definitely stay in touch. And yeah, it was great. All righty. Finish it off with Autumn. Okay, I guess I have to show you the cat. Oh, and we also have great new other vendors coming up. After me is Moses and Lara Nadell, I think. Selena King Jewelry and Erica Moody Fine Metal. So that'll be fun too. And we have another cat too. Here's Audie.